What's up guys? So in today's video we'll be discussing about Dhankar Lake in Spiti Valley, which is a hidden gem in the middle kingdom of Spiti Valley. It's one of the few lakes which are there in Spiti Valley, and it is one of the least visited lakes in Spiti because Chandatal takes all the glory. And if you are someone who's looking for an offbeat experience, remember Dhankar Lake is a must visit for you when you're planning your trip to Spiti Valley. Now keep in mind that Dhankar Lake is located at an altitude of 4,270 meters above sea level. That's roughly 14,000 feet above sea level. And this particular trek is a 3-kilometer uphill climb from the village. The trek starts from the new monastery and you got to walk uphill. There's a trail which is very well marked. So the first, I would say, 2 kilometers you keep walking straight up like what you can see in the video, and then you'll find a board which says turn left, and at that junction you turn left, and that's when the more easier part, I would say, of the trail begins, which is like the video is showing. The descent reduces. The first 2 kilometers is a steep 60 to 70 degree incline, while the last 1 kilometer becomes a lot more easier, which would be, I would say, anywhere between 25 to 45 degree incline. Now this particular trek, along the way you'll need to carry your water and snacks if you want. So my personal recommendation is carry a small day pack with you, because there are no shops, there are no stalls, and there is no water on this trail, so you need to be carrying provisions. Make sure that you leave early in the morning for the trek, and I would recommend leaving as early as 8 a.m. in the morning so that you reach there before the sun reaches its peak. Now once you reach the top of the lake, you will hit a plain pasture where you'll see even a few like a wall created out of stones, and from there you'll have to walk in. The first part you will hit on is the marshy part of the lake, which will be pretty much of a bummer for you, but if you keep walking you will actually find the better part of the lake. The marshy part of the lake is where the water has dried up, and it's a place where shepherds bring their animals for grazing. So you will always find some form of cattle at the lake who come to graze and to find greener pastures in this part. Now remember, the best time to be visiting this lake is during the summer months, from, I would say, end of April till first week of October. That is the perfect time to be reaching the lake. During the winter months the lake is cut off. Now keep in mind that at the lake there is no provision for camping nor for any kind of accommodation, so you have to hike up and return back the same day. Just make sure that you have enough time to chill by the lake, because the view from the lake is splendid. It's a beautiful panoramic view of the snow-capped Trans-Himalayas is what you will get to witness from the lake. Now this particular lake, the village of Dhankar, is equidistant from both Tabo and Kaza. It's roughly around 30 kilometers from each place. So you can always do a day trip, but my personal recommendation is to stay a night in Dhankar village and then hike up the next day in the morning and then go to either Tabo or Kaza, depending on what your blueprint has. Now when you go to Dhankar Lake, make it a small picnic where you can carry a few eatables. Just make sure that you don't trash the place, so carry all the plastic waste with you back to your homestay or your hotel where you're staying. Now remember, when you're planning on visiting Dhankar Lake, it is very important to understand that you need a very good pair of shoes, because the trail is muddy and dusty, and without having a good pair of shoes it's very difficult to reach up to the lake. You will slide and slip if you do not have a good pair of shoes. Network at the lake is there, with Airtel and Jio having 4G and 5G now. Keep in mind that to return back, descend back from the lake is much more easier. It will take you half the time of what you've taken to get up, because it is just walking downhill, and it will take you roughly around 45 minutes to get back from the trek, while the climb to the trek can take you anywhere from 1 hour to 3 hours, depending on your hiking speed and how much of time you take in your breaks along the trek. Now this is what